Baba Vanga's 2025 Prophecies, unfolding by late June. Predictions for 2025. What if ancient words, whispered from decades past, could still shape the way we see today's world? As the year 2025 unfolds, many eyes are turning once again to the mysterious prophecies of Baba Vanga, an ordinary woman with an extraordinary gift. Known as the Nostradamus of the Balkans, Baba Vanga's predictions have fascinated and unsettled millions. Some believe she foresaw pandemics, political shifts, and even natural disasters long before they came to pass. Now, with global tensions rising and nature's power on full display, a compelling question emerges. Are her prophecies for 2025 beginning to take shape? In this video, we'll explore what Baba Vanga may have seen for this very moment in history and, more importantly, how her visions invite us to reflect on how we live, act, and prepare for an uncertain future. Let's begin the journey of wisdom together. Number 1. Who is Baba Vanga? Baba Vanga, often referred to as the Nostradamus of the Balkans, remains one of the most enigmatic figures of modern prophecy, capturing the curiosity and imagination of millions worldwide. Her story begins in the heart of Bulgaria, where this blind mystic reportedly possessed an extraordinary ability to foresee major global events. Much like the famed 16th century French astrologer Nostradamus, whose cryptic writings continue to spark debate centuries later, Baba Vanga's predictions have gained renewed attention in today's uncertain world. Many believe she foresaw events such as the COVID-19 pandemic and other global upheavals, lending weight to the aura of mystery that surrounds her legacy. But as we edge further into 2025, questions arise. What did she foresee for this very year, and are some of those prophecies already starting to take shape before our eyes? As we reflect on her life and visions, it is important to understand that Baba Vanga's appeal lies not merely in the eerie accuracy attributed to her predictions, but in the deep emotional resonance they evoke. Despite losing her sight at a young age, she described experiencing vivid vision images and messages that she interpreted as glimpses of the future. These were often conveyed in symbolic, sometimes cryptic language, leaving room for interpretation and debate. Over the years, a growing list of seemingly fulfilled predictions has fueled both fascination and unease. Reports suggest that her predictions were correct, nearly 85% of the time. A statistic that, while difficult to verify, continues to inspire both believers and skeptics alike. Yet what makes her legacy especially poignant today is not just the list of past predictions, but what lies ahead. According to various accounts, Baba Vanga envisioned a series of significant and unsettling changes that would unfold throughout 2025. Some believe that geopolitical tensions, unexpected natural disasters, and technological shifts were among her foresights. While it is easy to get swept up in the sensational aspects of such predictions, it is also an opportunity for deeper reflection. How do we, as individuals navigating a rapidly changing world, prepare ourselves mentally, emotionally, and spiritually for uncertainty? Baba Vanga's life itself offers subtle lessons in resilience and perspective. Despite her blindness and humble beginnings, she became a figure of immense influence, teaching us that true insight often transcends the limits of physical perception. For those of us striving to find balance in modern life, her story serves as a quiet reminder that intuition and inner wisdom hold great value in an age dominated by data and external noise. Moreover, her cryptic yet thought-provoking messages challenge us to remain open-minded, encouraging vigilance without succumbing to fear. As 2025 progresses and whispers of Baba Vanga's prophecies continue to circulate, it is crucial to approach them with both curiosity and grounded awareness. Rather than viewing these visions as inevitable doom, We can see them as prompts to foster compassion, preparedness, and community resilience. Life will always hold uncertainties, but through mindfulness and collective kindness, we can face whatever the future brings with courage and grace. So as we explore what Baba Vanga may have foreseen for our present day, let us also remember that the choices we make now rooted in goodness and awareness shape the path forward, no matter what prophecies may unfold. Number 2. Baba Vanga's 2025 predictions. 1. Predictions on global politics and security. Let's take a thoughtful journey into one of the most intense sets of predictions from the famed mystic Baba Vanga, specifically those concerning global politics and security in the year 2025. As you listen, ask yourself, how might these insights influence the way we view the world today? Baba Vanga, known for her uncanny foresight, pointed to a chilling possibility involving Russian President Vladimir Putin. According to her, there could be an assassination attempt coming not from external enemies, but from someone within his very own inner circle. Just think about the implications of such a betrayal. How would it shake the foundations of a nuclear-armed nation like Russia? The immediate aftermath could lead to political chaos, uncertainty about leadership, and potentially a power vacuum with global repercussions. With Russia being a major player on the world stage, such instability would not stay confined within its borders. Instead, it could send shockwaves throughout international political and economic systems, affecting everything from alliances to global markets. As you reflect on this, consider, what lessons can we draw about the fragility of power and the importance of stability in international relations? In addition to these troubling predictions about Russia, Baba Vanga also warned of a troubling rise in terrorist activities across Europe in 2025. This isn't merely a caution about isolated incidents, but rather an indication of a broader surge that could deeply affect public safety and societal cohesion. Increased terrorist activities would undoubtedly place immense pressure on law enforcement agencies and government institutions striving to maintain order. But what about the everyday people living through such turbulence? The resurgence of large-scale violence could foster widespread fear, disrupt daily life, and exacerbate political polarization, making it even harder for societies to come together in unity and resilience. As you think about this, ask yourself, how can communities strengthen their social fabric and foster mutual understanding in the face of fear and division? Perhaps the most unsettling of Baba Vanga's 2025 forecasts involves the potential use of biological weapons by a major global power. The thought alone is staggering. Biological warfare carries consequences that are both immediate and long-lasting, from mass casualties to environmental destruction and widespread panic. This act would not only break international laws, but could also trigger a humanitarian crisis of immense scale, possibly even more devastating than conventional warfare. Imagine the ripple effects: healthcare systems overwhelmed, global travel brought to a halt, economies in disarray, and a profound sense of insecurity permeating everyday life. This leads to a vital question: how can the international community foster stronger safeguards and diplomatic measures to prevent such catastrophic possibilities? Taken together, these predictions: internal betrayal, rising terrorism, and the specter of biological warfare form a sobering portrait of the potential global landscape in 2025. Whether one views these warnings as literal forecasts or symbolic cautionary tales, they underscore a timeless truth. Our world is deeply interconnected, and the actions of a few can reverberate across continents. As we navigate an increasingly complex and volatile global environment, the key lesson here is the importance of vigilance, cooperation, and compassion. By staying informed, fostering dialogue, and promoting peaceful solutions, we can collectively work toward a more secure and harmonious future. So I leave you with this thought. In a world full of uncertainty, what role can each of us play in building a foundation of peace and resilience? 2. Natural disasters and climate change. Let me share with you one of the most haunting parts of Baba Vanga's 2025 prophecies, those concerning natural disasters and climate change, a subject that affects us all, no matter where we live. You may wonder, can ancient predictions still speak to us today in an age of science and technology? Let's explore that together. Among Vanga's 4 warnings is a catastrophic earthquake predicted to strike the United States, so powerful that it could alter the mighty Mississippi River's course and leave devastation in its wake. While such a disaster has not yet materialized, the Earth did rumble in 2023 with a magnitude 4.7 earthquake centered in Lebanon, New Jersey, just 45 miles from bustling New York City. It wasn't the cataclysm she foresaw, but the very fact that a significant seismic event occurred in an unlikely region serves as a quiet reminder. The forces of nature move on their own timetable. As we reflect on this, one might ask, we truly prepared for the unexpected? The US, with its growing vulnerability to extreme weather and geological shifts, faces a future where such questions are not merely hypothetical. And so we are reminded of the Buddha's teaching. Nothing is permanent. Everything is subject to change. Being is always becoming. In this ever-changing world, the only certainty is uncertainty. Vanga's vision also included a massive tsunami in Asia, one even more destructive than the infamous Indian Ocean tsunami of 2004, which claimed over 200,000 lives. This prophecy has stirred renewed concern following the magnitude 7.6 earthquake that struck Japan in early 2024, triggering a tsunami and heightening global awareness. While the recent event did not reach apocalyptic proportions, the rising pattern of seismic activity across the region suggests that nature's fury may still be stirring beneath the surface. As you ponder this, consider, how resilient are our communities against the growing power of the oceans and the trembling earth beneath our feet? Another chilling element in her vision is a change in Earth's orbit, a cosmic shift that could unleash a chain reaction of global natural disasters. While modern science has found no evidence to support an imminent orbital change, the symbolism here is profound. We are approaching a planetary tipping point where years of environmental neglect could provoke nature to respond with increasing violence. Does this not echo the wisdom of the Buddha when he said, "What we think, we become; what we do, we create"? Have decades of unsustainable choices now set in motion forces we can no longer fully control? This is a question that merits deep reflection. Adding further weight to Vanga's warnings, 2025 is expected to be another year of record-breaking heat. According to scientific studies, heat waves are now 67% more frequent and severe than they were just 4 decades ago. The average heat wave lasts 12 sweltering days, up from 8, with temperatures consistently pushing beyond safe limits. Vanga's words mirror today's climate data all too closely, underscoring a grim reality. Extreme heat is no longer the exception, it is becoming the norm. As we face this growing threat to human health and ecological balance, we must ask ourselves, can we adapt? And more importantly, how can we change our ways to prevent further harm? In the end, whether you view Baba Vanga's predictions as literal warnings or powerful metaphors, their relevance is undeniable. They serve as a clarion call, urging us not to turn a blind eye to the mounting instability of our environment. Each flood, quake, fire, and heat wave is a reminder that we are part of a vast, interconnected web of life, one that is straining under the weight of human actions. And so, I leave you with this thought. However many holy words you read, however many you speak, what good will they do you if you do not act upon them? What steps will you take today to honor the earth and safeguard the future for generations to come? If you've watched this far, you're already exploring the mysteries of Baba Vanga's 2025 prophecies unfolding before our eyes. Comment below with Prophecy Journey to show you're ready to uncover the deeper meanings behind these predictions. Don't go anywhere, there's still so much more to reveal in this video. Stay with us until the end to discover insights that could shape your understanding of what's to come. 3. The global economy. Now let's turn to one of the most thought-provoking elements of Baba Vanga's 2025 prophecies, the global economy, a subject that touches every one of us, from how we plan for retirement to the price of groceries on our next shopping trip. Vanga foresaw a major worldwide economic crisis unfolding this year, fueled by a perfect storm of soaring public debt, relentless inflation, and deepening political instability. If you're someone aged 30 to 65, you've likely witnessed some of these trends already shaping the headlines and perhaps even your own household budget. The seeds of economic turmoil are no longer distant warnings. They are starting to take root in the realities of everyday life. In the United States, inflation continues to chip away at the value of the dollar. Families are feeling the pinch with groceries, housing, and healthcare costs climbing faster than many wages can keep up. This erosion of purchasing power is not just an abstract statistic, it's what makes so many people today feel like they're working harder but getting less. Meanwhile, over in the United Kingdom, the weight of a looming recession casts a shadow over national morale. A recent study by Alliance Life shows that this downturn could present significant challenges for Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, especially with crucial elections on the horizon. Political decisions made in response to economic stress could reshape the future for millions of Britons. Moving to Japan, we see another layer of this unfolding picture. After slipping into recession in 2023, marked by 2 quarters of negative growth, the nation has been struggling to regain its economic footing. Japan's modest growth of 1.9% was not enough to maintain its spot as the 3rd largest global economy, as Germany surged ahead with a gross domestic product of $4.5 trillion. Though Japan is projected to experience a slight rebound in 2025 with expected growth of 2.1%, uncertainty lingers and the road ahead remains fragile. But Vanga's insights went beyond individual nations. She spoke of a broader shift in the global balance of power shift that we can already observe. China continues to strengthen its economic and geopolitical influence, challenging the Western-led world order. This growing clout affects global trade, technology, and diplomatic relations, impacting everything from the smartphones in our pockets to the goods that fill our local stores. In contrast, Russia's global influence is diminishing, weakened by internal political strife and the protracted war in Ukraine. These dynamics are prompting changes in global alliances, and one of the clearest signs is the ongoing expansion of NATO. This growth is partly a response to perceived threats from authoritarian regimes, reflecting a world where old alliances must adapt to new realities. At the same time, nations like India and those in Eastern Europe are emerging as influential players on the world stage. India's rapidly growing economy and strategic partnerships position it as a country to watch in the coming years, especially as the global economic landscape continues to evolve. When we weave all these threads together, we begin to see the volatility that Baba Vanga warned about: a world economy marked by shifting alliances, rising instability, and an uncertain future. Whether her vision comes to full fruition remains to be seen, but the current trajectory suggests that her warnings are more relevant than many would have imagined. And so, I ask you, in a time of such global change, how can we each build greater financial resilience and adaptability in our own lives? As the Buddha wisely taught, do not dwell in the past, do not dream of the future, concentrate the mind on the present moment. Perhaps now is the perfect time to review our priorities, strengthen our financial well-being, and stay open to the new opportunities and challenges that this changing world may bring. 4. Technology and science. Let's take a closer look at Baba Vanga's predictions for 2025, particularly around the topics of technology and science too, areas that continue to shape not only our world, but our very way of life. Her foresight included something both powerful and deeply hopeful: groundbreaking progress in medicine, especially for diseases that have long caused heartbreak and loss, such as Alzheimer's and various forms of cancer. While some may view these claims as far-reaching, recent developments in science suggest they may not be as far off as once believed. Across the world, medical researchers are pushing the boundaries of what was once thought impossible. In Russia, for example, a team of scientists has reportedly made significant headway toward a cancer vaccine, a breakthrough that President Vladimir Putin has even acknowledged publicly. Although we don't yet know which types of cancer this potential vaccine would target, its development signals a new era in cancer treatment, where prevention may one day become as common as diagnosis. In the United Kingdom, scientists at the University of Oxford, backed by government support, are developing a lung cancer vaccine and are preparing to release an initial batch of 3,000 doses. While these may not yet be cures in the purest sense, they represent a tremendous step forward, giving hope to millions and hinting at a future where diseases like cancer may be managed more like chronic conditions than life-threatening battles. So let me ask you this: how would your outlook on life change if these diseases were no longer the threats they are today? But Vanga didn't stop at hope. She also issued a serious warning, reminding us that for every positive step forward, there may be an equal risk if we're not careful. She foresaw large-scale cyber attacks that could target vital infrastructure. In today's digitally connected world, this isn't just a distant concern, it's already happening. From power grids to hospitals, water treatment plants to banking systems, our reliance on digital networks has created vulnerabilities that cybercriminals are increasingly eager to exploit. A recent example came to light when AT&T discovered a significant data breach where the personal information of millions of customers, both past and present, was discovered on the dark web. Though the exact source is still being investigated, it underscores how digital security is no longer a technical matter, but a deeply personal one. What happens when your identity, your finances, or your access to basic services is put at risk because someone found a way into the system? These are no longer questions just for IT departments, they are questions for all of us. Baba Vanga's visions for 2025 offer us a compelling dual message. On one side, she reveals science as a source of healing, renewal, and unprecedented hope. On the other, she warns that the very technologies we trust could be turned against us if we're not vigilant. And perhaps that's the real lesson here, that as we continue to advance, we must also grow in responsibility. In this age of rapid innovation, it's not just the tools we build that matter, but the wisdom we apply in using them. So, how can each of us contribute to a world where science serves life and technology serves peace? The answer may begin not in labs or networks, but in the choices we make and the values we uphold every day. 5. Extraordinary and mysterious phenomena. Let's now turn to one of the most captivating and mysterious parts of Baba Vanga's 2025 prophecies, those that take us beyond the boundaries of what we think we know, touching on the extraordinary and unexplained. As you listen, consider this. How would your view of the world change if even one of these predictions were to come true? Among her most talked-about forecasts is the possibility of humanity's first confirmed contact with extraterrestrial life, a moment she foresaw happening in 2025. Such an event would fundamentally alter our understanding of our place in the universe and challenge the very framework of science and belief. Though official confirmation remains elusive, recent global interest in unidentified aerial phenomena, or UAPs, has pushed this topic into serious public and governmental discourse in a way that was almost unimaginable a few decades ago. Could it be that we are inching closer to truths long hidden from view? Moving from the stars back to Earth, Vanga also spoke of the dragon Rizinga prediction open to wide interpretation. Many see this as a symbol of China's growing geopolitical and economic influence, given that the dragon is deeply rooted in Chinese culture as a symbol of power and prosperity. Yet others suggest that the dragon could point to the rapid advancement of artificial intelligence, an unstoppable force already reshaping industries, societies, and even international relations. Or could it hint at a disruptive event we have yet to foresee? The ambiguity invites us to stay alert and think critically about the forces driving change in our world today. Adding another layer to her forecasts, Vanga predicted the death of a young, influential leader, a vision that has sparked considerable speculation, especially following the suspicious death of Russian opposition figure Alexei Navalny. Yet, with the identity of this predicted leader still uncertain, many wonder if further revelations will unfold as the year progresses. How do such sudden shifts in leadership affect global stability, and how can we as individuals cultivate resilience in an era of political volatility? The intrigue deepens with her cryptic prophecy concerning former United States President Donald Trump. Vanga suggested he would suffer from a mysterious illness, yet might stage a dramatic political comeback. Given Trump's ongoing prominence in American politics and the recent presidential elections, this prediction continues to fuel public curiosity and debate about the evolving dynamics of leadership and influence in the United States. When you step back and view these extraordinary forecasts as a whole, they paint a portrait of a year shaped not only by visible forces, but by unseen possibilities that defy our current understanding. Whether these prophecies are literal events waiting to happen or symbolic messages urging us to expand our awareness, one thing is clear: the future holds surprises that may challenge everything we take for granted. And so I ask you, how can we remain grounded and wise in a world that is always evolving, often in ways we cannot yet predict? Perhaps this is the perfect moment to embrace curiosity, cultivate discernment, and prepare our hearts and minds for whatever truths the unfolding year may bring. If you're still with us, you're walking the path of understanding the deeper forces shaping 2025 through Baba Vanga's visions. Comment, unlock the future below to affirm your openness to learning and reflection. There's more insight ahead. Stay until the end and let this journey enrich your perspective on the future. Number 3. Baba Vanga's long-term predictions. Baba Vanga's long-range visions stretch beyond the horizon of our lifetimes, painting bold and mysterious outlines of a future both intriguing and cautionary. Her long-term prophecies, from political upheavals to technological wonders and potential doom, invite us not to fear the unknown, but to reflect deeply on the paths we're carving today. Take, for instance, her prediction for the year 2043, where she envisioned Europe under Islamic rule. This has sparked debate, not because of certainty, but because it touches a nerve on the subject of identity, migration, and integration. Some interpret this as symbolic, Europe reshaped by demographic shifts, cultural fusion, and changing values rather than conquest or domination. In this context, her foresight may well be urging us to understand how inclusion, diversity, and coexistence will redefine borders and beliefs. As the Buddha once said, "In the sky, there is no distinction of east and west. People create distinctions out of their own minds and then believe them to be true." Thus, instead of fearing change, we are reminded to examine our attachments and open our hearts to evolving identities. Continuing this thread of transformation, Baba Vanga pointed to the year 2076 as the time when communism would return on a global scale. This seems unlikely at first glance, especially after the 20th century saw the decline of many such regimes. Yet history has always been cyclical, and economic inequality continues to widen even today. Vanga's vision could represent a collective yearning for systems that prioritize equality over profit, fairness over unchecked freedom. Rather than a literal return to Marxist doctrine, it might signal a global rethinking of governance where cooperation and collective responsibility become essential responses to the challenges of automation, climate change, and rising discontent. He who experiences the unity of life sees his own self in all beings, taught the Buddha, a reminder that societal systems rooted in shared humanity may again rise in response to crises of disconnection and greed. Her prophecy for 2340, in which time travel becomes reality, feels like pure science fiction. Yet it speaks to our timeless desire to control fate, fix the past, and glimpse the future. Whether it ever comes true isn't the point. The real lesson may be in understanding our relationship with time itself. We often live caught between regrets of yesterday and anxieties for tomorrow. But what if the wisdom lies in fully embracing the now? In Buddhist thought, time is a river, always flowing, yet always present. Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment. The idea of time travel might simply be a metaphor for mastering presence. And yet, only a year after this futuristic breakthrough, Vanga foresaw in 2341 a man-made catastrophe so severe that it would render Earth uninhabitable. This sobering vision brings us face to face with our collective responsibility. Are we building or destroying? Whether through unchecked technological advancement, environmental collapse, or warfare, the warning is clear. Wisdom must keep pace with power. The Zen proverb, "When the power of love overcomes the love of power, the world will know peace," feels deeply relevant here. Our inventions cannot outrun our ethics forever. Vanga's vision serves not as a prediction set in stone, but as a mirror reflecting our choices and the consequences they may hold. Finally, looking as far ahead as the year 5790, she predicted the end of the world itself. While it's hard for us today to grasp a timeline so distant, the emotional weight of such a statement brings into sharp focus our impermanence. Civilizations rise and fall, planets age, and life continues its cycle. What matters then is not how long we last, but how wisely we live. As the Dhammapada teaches, all conditioned things are impermanent. When one sees this with wisdom, one turns away from suffering. The end of the world need not be feared but understood as the final chapter in a story whose pages we are writing now. Through these long-term prophecies, Baba Vanga doesn't just share predictions, she poses questions about our destiny and our choices. Her visions stretch into unimaginable centuries, yet their meaning is rooted in the present. They urge us to slow down, reflect, and walk gently on this earth. In modern life, overwhelmed by speed and distracted by noise, we often lose sight of the bigger picture. But through prophecy and mindfulness alike, we are reminded the future is not a fixed fate, is shaped by the wisdom, compassion, and awareness we cultivate today. As we reflect on Baba Vanga's fascinating prophecies for 2025 and beyond, one thing becomes clear. While the future holds many unknowns, how we choose to live today will shape the world of tomorrow. Let us face uncertainty with wisdom, compassion, and an open heart. If you found this video insightful, please give it a like, share it with others who might find it meaningful, and subscribe to The Journey of Wisdom for more thought-provoking content. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you won't miss our upcoming videos exploring timeless teachings and modern reflections. Until next time, may you walk your path with awareness and kindness. See you in the next video.